Blog Talk Radio.
Had $1 million, but I'll spend it all. Gotta love Sublime. You love Sublime.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
All right. He's American, folks. He's American. I used to love when Jack Swagger did that.
We the people.
Yeah, what's up with that?
He lost.
Like, yeah, you know what? I'm glad he lost. To me, a beard is not a makeover. He was already Tea Party. With the whole American. No, this guy needs a whole new overhaul. It's like they're waiting for Kurt Angle to return. So they're just like, Jack, you're gonna have to be around mid-card until your dad returns.
Well,
that would be the day.
What?
That would be pretty awesome to have Jack Swagger, Kurt Angle, World's Greatest Tag Team, all one faction.
Well, Kurt Angle is just the man.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And it would have been awesome seeing a rematch, a WrestleMania rematch, Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar.
That would have been sweet. Anything with Kurt Angle would have been sweet.
Yeah. Kurt Angle, he always puts on a great show.
Yeah.
I always look forward. Always, you know, he's one of the few wrestlers that when he comes out and wrestles, I actually want to sit down and watch the whole match.
Yeah.
Now, it really all does depend on who he wrestles, though, because if he comes out and wrestles, I don't know, Big Show, But if it's anybody about his size or a little bigger, like Samoa Joe, I could definitely watch that match. So if I'm like walking out the room and all of a sudden I hear Kurt Angle's music hit, best believe I'm turning back around.
Kurt Angle, one match, he returns to WWE. Who do you have him feud with?
Oh, Daniel Bryan.
Damn, I was going to say the exact same person. Those would be some epic matches.
I want that match to happen.
What is it? The American Hero versus the American Dragon.
Oh, fuck yeah. It just makes me wet thinking about it.
Yeah, man. That's, that definitely has to happen one day. I don't want it to, here's the crappy thing. There have been some great matchups of people we thought we'd never see face each other.
Yeah.
But it sucks.
I remember I never thought I'd ever see Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe. I mean, whoever would have seen that coming.
No. Same thing when it comes to, remember one of the bigger ones back in the day was AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy. Like, when is that going to happen? And it actually happened, you know.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought there for a second.
You said you never thought you'd see Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe.
Yes. Never thought that. I never thought a WWE star or wrestler would ever step inside a TNA ring as he was contracted by WWE still. Remember that?
I didn't know he was still contracted by WWE.
No. It was Christian.
Oh, Christian. Yeah, that was interesting, too. They said he was supposed to present Sting with his Hall of Fame thing in TNA, but They never really showed footage of that, so I don't know if it happened.
No, what he actually appeared, like his entrance and everything, like to the ring. He went to the ring.
Yeah, I remember I saw that at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that was here, actually. It's pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's badass. It was so surreal, you know? It's like, wow, he's under contract. You know, even though we had just seen him in TNA like a couple of years prior, still, it was like, wow, you know, I mean, it's, you know, it's just weird that would happen. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before.
Yeah, it was, well, you have seen it. If you were watching in the 90s, you got to remember when a lot of ECW guys were appearing on Raw.
Oh, well, yeah, but see, ECW was not, you know, it was almost like, to me, I didn't really count that. Yeah, I didn't really count that as, like, big. And not that TNA is as big as, like, WCW was, but it's almost like seeing a WWF guy go to a WCW show to talk while he's still under contract. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just,
I know what you're saying.
The ECW, it never had a primetime slot on TV, at least as far as I remember.
But I guess the TNN thing doesn't count. It was, I think the first one was live, but that didn't last long at all.
No, like, it wasn't on, like, regularly for years on primetime TV.
No, that was about the time.
TNA's been on, well, on Spike at around the same time since 2006?
2006?
No,
probably.
2004. 2004, they were on Fox Sports Net. They were still...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah. Because they started doing 1 hour on Spike TV around 2006, like a little before Kurt Angle appeared.
That's crazy when I think about it, that they actually used to be 1 hour for a long time.
Oh. Even crazy that they went head-to-head with Raw for a couple months there.
Yeah.
The fuck is Hulk Hogan thinking?
I'm glad it happened, because that's a decent test of water. If you got some money to play with, why not test it, seeing just how far are you from the big leagues? Because
you know you're pretty far, though.
They're a much better company because of that slight failure. I wouldn't call it a failure, but they're much better now with Hogan and without Jarrett.
Yeah, well, Jarrett, he did good. He did good though for what he did for TNA. I mean, he did bring it up, as far as he could, but he still brought it up. He didn't it didn't stay, that little bitty independent company, because I don't really count it as independent anymore. A lot of people do, but I it's definitely not, because they're backed by Panda Energy, so.
Yeah, somewhat. I'd say, rich girl is using her parents' money to find a wrestling organization.
She met up with Stephanie McMahon over the weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I always hoped we never learn of something like that, because I'm really hoping that one day we get a big WWE TNA angle just for 1 year. They do this angle just to kind of, I think it's good business for WWE. If they have something to compete with, it only creates better performances.
The thing is about that, back then, WWF was private. It was a private company. It was a family company. It was private. Now, you have shareholders. You have a board. and it's publicly traded. So I think they wouldn't find it in their best interest to make another company popular, jeopardizing their sales. Now, as a fan, fuck yeah.
Heck
I mean,
yeah.
that's like a dream. That's a dream. I want to see, like during a Cena match, all of a sudden AJ Styles comes out and just fucking, just comes out from the crowd, tears him a new one, and then goes back. And,
No. You know what would be sick is if AJ Styles comes out and, Cena's fighting, somebody who's a mega heel, maybe CM Punk or whoever.
Right.
And, they're booing him as usual. AJ Styles comes out like he's gearing up to hit Cena. Cena stands up, and they both look at his opponent, and they just fucking rip into him. And, Cena takes off with the title, and he's in TNA. And it's like, what the hell, like WWE's like, they feel disgraced, like all embarrassed that their champion just gets them.
I don't know, man. Do you think that would be...
I mean, it would make TNA the super heels.
Well, yeah, it would definitely do heel wonders for Cena, because he would then have to be heel then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see that. That's kind of like a Hollywood Hogan thing.
And maybe at the end, Jeff Hardy turns on TNA. The Golden Boy is back home. That would be cool. That, and, hearing Kurt Angle's music again. There's something that I always wondered. Do you think that the newer fans would know to chant "You Suck" during his music? I don't think they would.
It's been like 7 years. It's been 7 years.
You know what? You wouldn't notice it at the live show, like from TV. But I think they wouldn't know, but you would still hear the chants, because there's still plenty of people who just never stop supporting no matter what. Freaking Eugene could be champion, and they'd still be saying WWE is the best thing ever. And these are people who've been watching for 10 plus years.
But do you think they would still chant "You Suck"?
Oh yeah, definitely those fans. And then the little kids would just join in, not knowing why they're saying what they're saying. They think it's a DX thing, probably.
I think it's a what?
They think it was a DX thing.
I was when the New Age Outlaws came out a few weeks ago. There was this comment I said that they said that they were why are they stealing DX's whenever they talk?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Yeah,
wow.
They're like, who do they think they are? stealing Triple H and Shawn Michaels saying, or however they said it. I don't know how they said it, but I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, these new people, man, there was somebody that called Eddie Guerrero overrated.
Oh wow.
Turns out he's only been watching since 2010. He says, "Oh, I've seen his old matches. I've seen him with versus who do you say? It was versus
Rob Van Dam.
No.
Mysterio?
It was actually one of his latest. No, Batista.
Oh.
Yeah. I've seen him face Batista. Batista's way better.
Wow.
Like, either you're a troll or you're just fucking stupid. Yeah, it's like new fans to me. I just
Well, they're children. If you look at when you look at the live crowds today, it's children everywhere. But I still have a whole bunch of copies of Raw on my computer, and I was watching a couple episodes last night, and it was just a way different atmosphere. It was amazing seeing that the average mid-carder in WWE then, someone like Test, they'd be a big deal if they were in their prime today. You know.
yeah. Well, they were actually kind of a big deal back then.
The
mid-card
they were, but
like
they weren't going to be world champions.
yeah. But
Today, your world champion is like the guy they're grooming is Fandango. It's like, really?
actually, are they even grooming anybody? I don't think they are. You have, let's see, the champion now is Cena. Champion before him, Rock. CM Punk. Before that, it was Cena, and then Del Rio, I think, and then before Del Rio was Cena. It's like, oh yeah, and then before him was The Miz. But
to see who they're grooming, you have to look at the world title statistics. If you notice, every flavor of the month gets that belt, and then as champion, they get sort of jobbed out, which is really weird because they did that with CM Punk. He won the title and immediately became a jobber. Rey Mysterio became a jobber. So
yeah, that belt became so obsolete after the brand split was over.
Yeah,
because I remember when that belt was it was a huge, and it wasn't like it was that long ago. I mean, the last time it was really a big deal still was, I think, when Chris Benoit had it and Triple H around 2003, 2004.
After that, even remember Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle feuding for that belt?
No.
That
was for the...
Yeah, it did go back. It started off on Raw, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar were fighting for the WWE Championship.
Yeah, I remember now.
But Kurt Angle did win it in 2006, I think, on SmackDown. Then that Battle Royal match.
Yeah.
That was like his last world title reign. I think that it was relevant, like, around then. It was really, after that, it started to die little by little. And they really, really, really killed it a couple of years ago when it was, like, the first match at WrestleMania. That's when it actually, like, the life was already gone, but that was actually, like, the nail in the coffin right there.
Yeah.
Because when it's the first match, I mean, it's not special at all. So,
so let's get this out of the way.
Yeah, so it sucks because I remember that belt being so prestigious, like that belt was like, that title was just so special, And even when it went to WWF, when it was, there was Raw and SmackDown, so they were separated. So it was still about as special.
Yeah, I guess the issue would be that it's on SmackDown, because after pretty much Brock and Angle's feuds died out, it pretty much evident that this was the B show. Even worse.
What, SmackDown?
It seemed pretty evident that SmackDown, by the time JBL was champion or Rey Mysterio, it was pretty evident that was the B show. Maybe even Edge. I think he was champion over there.
I actually no. When JBL was champ, Edge was on Raw.
No, I mean afterwards. Did he become the champion over there later or before JBL?
It was way after, because JBL was champion. JBL was champion all throughout 2004. Well, Eddie was champ for the early part of 2004, and then JBL took over, and he was the champ the rest of the year.
Wow.
But yeah, he was champ for a long. He was champ all the way until till WrestleMania the next year. He won it against and John Cena won.
Wow.
And beat JBL. Yeah, I remember that shit like it was yesterday. It was. He had one of the longest, or they say that it was one of the longest, even though. But what was I gonna say? I actually considered SmackDown at that point in time the A show. I actually watched it more than I did Raw, because after 2003, like, everybody started leaving, so Raw really consisted of Evolution, which was amazing. I loved the Evolution, but they also only had they had Chris Benoit, they had Jericho, they had Christian, but everybody else left.
Yeah.
Because then all you had was like the Hurricane.
Well, I think the smart fan considered SmackDown the better show, but WWE still treated it like the B show.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was, but... And now, I think it's worse now because back then, I mean, yeah, people had the internet, but I don't think anybody really checked the results as much as they do now. Now it's like, it's taped on Tuesdays, and even a 5-year-old kid knows that now. And they go to these websites and they look, and it's like to the writers, it's like, what's the point of even making it like the way it used to be if people are just gonna look?
Yeah, that's why I had to stop going to sites like WrestleZone, because the whole purpose, it seems, of the site is just to spoil it,
Yeah, but now it's like I honestly think they need to make SmackDown Live, and they need to start really building their stuff. They're not building anybody.
No,
they're just not. They're relying on Cena and Punk.
Yeah.
Way too much.
They give guys a nice debut, but then, like, as you look with Starro and the Scholar guy, what's the genius dude with Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, and Damien Sandow.
Yeah, they give them a nice debut, but then they just kind of stay there in the mid-card for a few years.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And then the people that they do try to give title shots to early are, they turn out to be duds, like Sheamus. They gave him the title like 2 months, 3 months after he debuted.
Beat Triple H.
Yeah. Okay.
His workout buddy.
Yeah, that definitely helped, I guess. But still, it's like, I would put the title on Damien Sandow. You know what? I wouldn't put the title on him now, of course, because he's not built enough. But, build him up. Have him, just say some shit, because he is brilliant on the mic. On the mic, Damien Sandow, he gets people to boo. I mean, he gets a reaction. You know, they try to put the belt on people like Miz, and nobody gives a shit about Miz. And it's true, nobody does.
Oh boy. Or Del Rio.
That's why his ass was on the pre-show today.
With his Wade Barrett, that he was supposed to be a big deal. I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah, and Wade Barrett's a badass too. He can talk on the mic pretty well, and he can put on a good match.
They really failed the Nexus angle. That could have been really huge, And for some reason, they just took every step possible to kill it.
Why do you think that is? Like, what do you think their mindset is doing that shit? It's like Wade Barrett can be gold. You put him on the mic every single week, going against top guys like, you know, the only two top guys they have, Cena and Punk. You know, and then make Barrett a top guy.
Yeah.
And then build up Sandow to be a top guy instead of putting people. Yeah, I mean, then you'd have like 4 major top guys right there.
Yeah.
You know, as far as your heels go, you have 3. You have, you know, Sandow, Barrett, and his Barrett barrage, and then you have Punk. You know, damn good heels right there, and then you could have your faces. You could have Cena and whoever else. I don't even know who. Oh, you know what? I think Daniel Bryan could be a damn good face.
Yeah, no, they love him. I mean, Team Hell No was supposed to be heels, but because people thought it was so hilarious and enjoyable, they're faces.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, even Kane can still be. He can still go on his. You know what? He's even more in shape than he was. You know, like 5 years ago, he started to really gain weight, and then now he's back in shape. He looks back like almost in his 90s form.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't
understand. It is right
back. Ugh. Get rid of his ass.
Can you believe Mark Henry went over?
Yeah.
I didn't think that would happen.
I actually predicted that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You know what is a real issue for me is it's hard to believe in either one of the top titles when there's 2 top titles. Like that, one title is going to devalue the other. You can't have 2 world champions. It just doesn't do anything for the competitive aura of the show.
Yeah, well, it worked when there was a brand split, but now it's just absolutely pointless. It really, really is. There's no... The world title is just completely... It's like you might as well not even have a title.
Yeah.
And then the WWE Championship, we didn't even see that on TV for like 3 weeks while The Rock was gone filming movies. It's like, what the fuck? You know, I mean, you could have a show without titles, but that's basically what they're doing. But, you know, it just makes it less, I don't know. It's like back, and it wasn't even that long ago. It was like back, I think the last time was 2004, 2005. Back then, it was like about the titles, you know? That's what it was about. Now it's not even really about titles anymore. It's just about the hype of Rock and Cena. You know, like back then, I remember when Benoit won the title and he started crying in the ring. Like he was just like, it was so, you know, and I mean, it was actual, you know, it was a damn good match. You had Shawn Michaels, you know, they were headlining. You know, like, I honestly feel like Taker and Punk should have headlined WrestleMania. But, of course, Punk having the title, the WWE title, they should have never took it off him. The streak versus the title, shit.
Yeah. I with Cena and Rock on the same card, I can't imagine that ever happening.
Yeah. Yeah, Cena's a bitch.
Well,
and his team.
We're just about almost done with the regular portion of the show. Are we going overtime?
Overtime.
We may be going overtime, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Very, very soon.
Can't wait. You know, for some reason it says now we have 4 live listeners.
Oh, welcome to After Hours Cinemax.
Busty Cops.
I was so
Hotel.
disappointed when I found out it was fake. Like, I didn't know softcore porn. I didn't know Cinemax was softcore. I didn't know anything about hardcore softcore. I thought, holy crap, they're doing it. Then occasionally I notice a gap, but where the guy should clearly be in her. And I was like, it was like I almost had a nervous breakdown, you know? Like, you mean I've been jacking it to fake porn? Why?
You lies.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I remember watching Hotel Erotica one night, and I just, but the girls, the women are fucking sexy, though.
Oh, yeah, I remember Candice Michelle was on one of those.
Candice Michelle. Yeah, she was. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, oh, yeah, definitely, of course.
Yeah. She let herself go for a couple of years. I don't know if you've seen that. She got fat.
She was actually on a roll before she got injured. I remember when it happened, too. She slipped off the turnbuckle, broke her collarbone or something, and that was pretty much the end of her push.
Speaking of women wrestlers and divas, that also gone down the pipes fast.
Yeah, in both promotions, unfortunately. I don't know, when I want good women's wrestling, I watch Joshi, I guess it's pronounced that way. Oh, there's some amazing wrestling over there in Japan.
Oh, man, Japan is, I don't know their names, but I saw this, and you've probably seen it too, these Japanese women, they were wrestling in a exploding barbed wire cage death match.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I've probably seen that. That's like a regular thing over there, too, in Japan.
Yeah.
The women are just as badass as any of the guys.
Yes, they're fucking tough, man.
Yeah.
That's, that's I don't care if they look butch or whatever, just give me some good, tough women wrestlers, hell, even Trish could put on a show, and she was fucking beautiful.
Yeah, she actually made some strides as a wrestler. Same with, what's her name, well, you probably didn't watch because it was TNA, but Miss Tessmacher, who used to be in WWE.
I remember her.
Yeah, Brooke Tessmacher. She became a pretty damn good wrestler.
Remember, I don't know if it was only once, but when Trish and Lita headlined Raw,
I think
they were the main event for the women's championship.
Wow, that's wild.
And they were actually the main event, and it was so badass. It was amazing. Like when Lita jumped out the ring, she landed on her head, and it looked like she just fucking broke her back. It was just, they put on a show, and the crowd was so into it. That's they put on a great show. They really. I think Trish was probably the last and probably one of the only really beautiful, sexy women who could actually wrestle.
Yeah.
Like you could tell she actually she actually had a, I don't know if it's like a Canadian thing, but she had a passion for it.
I noticed, the divas, or for that matter, American women's wrestling, period, has never, unfortunately, held a candle to what they do in Japan. But by WWE standards, Trish, she was worth watching. At least back in the day, she was worth watching. And you're right, she had the combination of looks and the ability she did have. Mighty Molly was a better wrestler, but she didn't have the look.
Molly Holly, yep. Man, see, I think back then it was just, at that point it was perfect. Because you had Victoria, you had Molly, you had Jazz, who was pretty entertaining herself. You had remember what was her name? Nydia. With Jamie Noble.
Nydia from Tough Enough.
Yeah.
The stuff that they did with Nydia and Jamie Noble, some of the best years of SmackDown.
Oh yeah. Easily.
That was, remember the Cruiserweight champion used to, he was a badass. Jamie Noble was a Cruiserweight champion.
Most of the Cruiserweights were. At that point. Remember Ultimo Dragon?
Oh, definitely. I heard rumors that wasn't actually him in WWE. Is that true?
I think it was. It had to be. It had to be. Just like those rumors that Kane is not the original Kane.
Yeah, because the other dude was more pale and he was way ripped. When he first showed up, that dude was a monster.
Yeah, but so was Kane, though.
That's what I'm talking.
No, yeah, but when he was I always forget his name. Before he was Kane.
Oh, the dentist.
Yeah, it was Isaac Yankem.
Yeah, Isaac Yankem, DDS.
He looked, I mean, I don't know. There's some part of me that wonders, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm pretty for sure though. I'm pretty for sure it's always been Glenn Jacobs. I mean, now
why would they lie?
Yeah, I know. They did say, however, though, that his hair, the original Kane's hair, was real. Like when people pulled it, like it wouldn't come off.
It was real after that. When he started wearing the singlet. I mean, his hair was still long back then.
Yeah, but
when he took it off,
they're trying to say when he took his mask off, it was
there's no hair. But I think that was like some weird thing in creative where they didn't know what the hell they were doing, and for some reason Glenn Jacobs decided to shave his head, and at the last minute they're like, no, actually we're gonna go ahead and have you with the hair. It's probably just really screwed up. Or maybe they wanted to create the effect that he had been burned too. But they had to have known at some point we would notice there's no burn scars.
Yeah, see, that was kind of...
Is it just me? Or a guy who was apparently burned, as the years go by, he's exposing more and more of his skin to the point where you see absolutely no scars.
Yeah, I know. It completely takes off the whole upper part of what he used to wear. I mean, he used to be all sleeves and gloves, and the mask used to cover all of his face, and it was just like a complete mystery.
Oh, boy.
Then he started wearing the singlet, and then the singlet came off, and then he's just like a clean body. Miraculously got healed.
Powder, you remember that movie? Oh boy, yeah, pale bald kid. But yeah, that's basically Kane now.
That's hilarious.
Pretty soon he's going to be wearing trunks, and we're going to see that there's no scars.
Yeah, because at first, I must have been like 6 or 7. I actually always wondered and believed that he was ugly and burned, and it looked cool, and I wanted to see it. And then, I must have been like maybe 14 or 15 when he took his mask off. And I was just like, holy shit. He takes it off, and I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah.
He didn't find a mask. I mean, yeah, he's an ugly motherfucker when he took it off, but he wasn't burned.
It's the dude from Blade.
I'm like, all those burns that wasn't supposedly there for all those years that I was like, what the fuck? All my years. He did with his small teeth. That's funny. But yeah, it's like all those years of anticipation and like wondering what the fuck does he look like. It's like, wow. That's when WWE. Huh?
Daniel Bryan looks like a lumberjack.
Daniel Bryan, he looks just like a mess.
Oh,
yes, he looks like somebody who you'd find just out in the forest randomly, chopping down a piece of wood. Oh man! But he is a badass wrestler. He really is.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of a shame that they kind of had him gain weight, because you could tell he was like freaking huge compared to what he was back then with an ROH.
Yeah, it's the WWE way.
It sucks because I don't know. I would hate to think that it's steroids.
I hope not. He seems like a pretty all-natural dude. They should have Ric Flair teach a class, because this guy is ancient, and I don't know if you've noticed, I've never seen Ric Flair out with an injury.
You're right. No, I'm trying to think. Has to be. It has to be.
What the hell is this guy's workout routine? Because he, for an old dude, is in excellent shape. He can take a beating, and he's there the next day for 30 more years.
I don't know. I'm sort of thinking he just doesn't have bones anymore. He's just like, he's just like flub. He's taking so many beatings. He's like, his bones are like powder now.
He's a mutant.
Yeah, like nothing hurts him. Because he can still do those what do you call those? Whenever they
back body toss.
Yeah, where they lift him up.
Yeah.
Into the air. He still does that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm afraid that every time he lands, his heart is gonna move out of place or something.
Him and Terry Funk.
Oh fuck, Terry Funk.
He's actually moonsaults.
Huh?
He does moonsaults and everything.
Yes. I want to meet Terry Funk. That's somebody who I haven't met. I really would like to meet, and he lives here in Texas.
Oh wow!
We'll go to his ranch one day. Meet him.
Well, I think that's pretty much getting to the end of the post show. Eventually, they're going to cut us off. Might as well get the jump on them. Get the jump on these suckers.
True.
Booker T from Harlem Heat. Here with Chihuahua, 106th Street.
We coming for you, nigga. You see that?